So the reason these are called two-step equations are because it takes 2 steps now in order to solve them instead of just one, okay? So first I want to write down the steps to solving a two-step equation. Let's write down our steps to solving a two-step equation, okay? So the first thing is draw your line, okay? Draw a line down the equal sign. Always want you guys to draw your line so you can see the middle of your equation. After you draw your line, the second step is to locate your variable. So you need to see which side is my variable on. Is it on the right side? Is it on the left side? You need to find your variable, okay? Then the third step is add or subtract to eliminate the constant. So the first step, you're going to have to add sometimes and subtract sometimes. You're also going to have to multiply and divide sometimes. So I want you guys to try adding or subtracting first to get rid of the constant, okay? And then the next step would be multiply or divide to eliminate the coefficient. So after you get rid of the constant, you're going to have a coefficient probably, and you're going to multiply and divide to get rid of that. So there's a lot of vocab words in here: variable, constant, coefficient. And then the last step always is going to be to check your answer. You don't want to assume you're correct. You want to check your answer always, okay? So let's do one problem together. Let's do an example together. So I'm going to write examples here since we had steps. Actually, we can just write it here. Examples. Okay. I'm going to scroll down a little bit so now we can just see our steps. So the first problem we're going to do is going to be 3x plus 2 equals 17. 3x plus 2 equals 17. So if we look at the steps, the first step says draw a line down the equal sign. So I'm going to draw my line down the equal sign, okay? Step 2 says locate your variable. Found my variable, it's on the left side this time. All right, cool. Third step says add or subtract to eliminate the constant. So I know the constant is this number. And to get rid of it, I have to add or subtract. I'm already adding the constant, so I probably have to do the opposite, which is to subtract. So I can get rid of the constant so my variable can be alone. Anything I do on one side, I keep telling y'all, I have to do on the other side. All right, so now let's see what I'm left with. 2 minus 2 is 0, so that one cancels out. So I'm left with 3x on this side equals 17 minus 2 is 15. So if you notice, I did one step, but I'm not done yet. My variable is right here, and it is not alone. I still have to get rid of the 3, which is the coefficient. So if we look at step number 4, it says we have to multiply or divide to eliminate the coefficient. 3x means multiplying, so this means I have to divide by 3. I'm dividing by 3 on both sides. Okay, I'm going to extend my line a little bit. So now I'm going to see what's left over. 3's cancel out, so I have x left over here equals 15 divided by 3, which is 5. So x equals 5. Okay? And then I always want to check my work. So I'm going to rewrite my original equation here, but instead of x, I'm going to write 5. So 3x, but x is 5, plus 2 should equal 17. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 should equal 17. 15 plus 2 is 17, and that means both of my sides are balanced, so that is going to be the correct answer. Okay? I'm going to have you guys do another example by yourself. So in a second, I'm going to write it out, and I want you guys to pause the video and try it. Okay, so this one's going to be 5x minus, I don't know, let's do minus 2 equals 8. 5x minus 2 equals 8. So right now, you guys are going to pause the video and try this problem out. Okay, hopefully you paused the video and you did the work, so let's go over the answer. Step 1, draw your line. Step 2, locate your variable. Step 3, eliminate the constant by adding or subtracting. So I'm already subtracting, so I'm going to add 2 to get rid of that constant, okay? When I do that, the 2's go away. I have 5x equals 8 plus 2, which is 10. Step 4 is multiply or divide to eliminate the coefficient. The coefficient is 5. 5x means multiplying. I'm going to divide on both sides, okay? And these cancel out. I'm left with x equals 10 divided by 5, which is 2. Don't forget to check your work. So I'm going to check my work here. If x is 2, I'm going to rewrite my equation, but instead of x, I'm going to write 2 minus 2 equals 8. 5 times 2 is 10 minus 2 equals 8. And 10 minus 2 is 8. Both sides are balanced, which means this is the correct answer. Okay? I know I've been talking for a long time, but I do want to show you one more thing. There is one tricky example that I kind of want to go over with you guys. So I'm on the next page because I ran out of space. So I'm just drawing my my vertical line. So I just want you guys to write on the side, watch out for these kind of tricky problems. So we can just write for some problems, we might multiply or divide first, then add or subtract, okay? So we're used to adding or subtracting first and then multiplying, dividing, but for certain problems, we might actually have to flip the order, and this is what those problems are going to look like, okay? So for example, if you have a problem that looks like this, x plus 3 divided by 2 equals 6, you might have a problem like this, okay? If you see a problem like this, we are going to, let's follow the steps at first, draw your line, okay? Now, we're going to find our variable, which is right here, okay? Now, we know we have to get rid of the 3 at some point, and we know we have to get rid of the 2 at some point. But the first number we're going to get rid of is this 2. So we're going to say eliminate that first. We're going to eliminate the 2 first, okay? And in order to do that, this whole problem means x plus 3 is being divided by 2. So if x plus 3 is being divided by 2, the opposite of dividing by 2 is multiplying by 2. So anything I do on one side, I have to do on the other side, okay? So when I do that, my 2's cancel out, so I'm left with x plus 3 equals 6 times 2, which is 12. Okay? My variable is right here, and it's not alone. And so to get it alone, I have to do the opposite of adding by 3, which is subtracting by 3. And I have to do it on both sides. So when I do that, my 3's go away. X equals 12 minus 3, which is 8. Okay? Don't forget what I'm going to keep telling you, to check your work. Okay? So when I check my work, X is 8, so 8 plus 3 divided by 2 should give me 6. Okay, 8 plus 3 is 12, so 12 divided by 2 should give me 6. 12 divided by 2 is 6, so that means that we got the answer correct. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. I'm going to make you guys do one problem on your own before we stop this video. All right, so the problem I want you guys to do is going to be y minus 2 divided by 4 equals 2. So right now, pause the video and try this problem out. Okay, hopefully you were able to solve this problem. We're going to go over it real quick. First step, draw your line. Second step, find your variable. I keep messing that up. Find your variable. It's on the left side. And then for this one, if this is a special kind of problem, so instead of dealing with the 2, we're going to deal with the 4 first, the denominator. So we're going to do the opposite of dividing by 4, which is multiplying by 4. And we're going to do it on both sides. When we do that, my 4's go away, and I'm left with y minus 2 equals 2 times 4, which is 8. My variable is right here, so it's not gone yet. So I need to get rid of the 2. If I'm subtracting by 2, I do the opposite, which is adding by 2 on both sides. And if I add by 2 on both sides, my 2's go away. Y is going to give me 10. Box your answer. I always need to check my work. So when I check my work, I'm going to replace the y with a 10. So I'm going to rewrite this as 10 minus 2 over 4 equals 2. 10 minus 2 is 8. So I'm going to write 8 over 4 equals 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 2 equals 2 means my equation is balanced. So that was the correct answer.